Welcome to our Mock Interview Pro series, designed to empower you in your journey to becoming a director. In today's session, we'll walk through essential interview questions you might face, offering insights and strategies to help you shine. Let's dive right in with a question about leading through change. Could you share an experience where you had to guide your team through a major change? What hurdles did you encounter, and how did you tackle them? This question is key because it reveals your leadership style during transitions and how you manage obstacles. Let's look at some ways to frame your response effectively. Choose a specific change you navigated. Detail the challenges that came up during this change. Explain your actions to manage these challenges and the outcome. Showcase what your team learned from this experience. Highlight your leadership approach and communication strategies. Here's an example of how you might structure your answer.
In my previous role, we switched to a new software system, and staff were hesitant due to fear of the unknown. I organized informative meetings to explain the benefits and conducted training sessions to ease their concerns. As a result, our team adapted well and productivity increased by 20%.
By the way, we're only covering a handful of questions in this video, but I've prepared a free PDF with all 30 top interview questions for director. It also includes example answers and tips to help you prepare with confidence. The download link is just below. Describe a time when you had a disagreement with a stakeholder or team member. How did you handle it? This question is designed to evaluate your conflict resolution skills and ability to maintain strong professional relationships. Here are some key points to consider when crafting your response. Pick a specific conflict that shows your leadership skills. Clearly explain the context and cause of the conflict. Describe how you address the conflict, involving necessary stakeholders. Highlight the resolution and its impact on the team or project. Reflect on what you learned and how it strengthened your work relationships. Let's look at a sample answer to see how this can be done.
On a project with a tight deadline, a team member disagreed with my approach. We had an open one-on-one discussion to share our perspectives, which led to a compromise that integrated both ideas. This not only ensured a successful project but also improved our collaboration.
Could you give an example of a strategic plan you developed? What was the outcome? This question assesses your strategic planning skills and ability to deliver results. Consider the following tips while preparing your response. Select a project that showcases your strategic thinking. Describe the context and challenges you faced. Outline the goals of your strategic plan and steps taken. Emphasize the results and their benefit to the organization. Reflect on what you learned or adjusted during the process. Here's how you can present your strategic planning experience.
At XYZ Corp, I devised a strategic plan to enter a new market. With stiff competition, I focused on market research and identifying target customers. This strategy resulted in capturing a 20% market share in the first year, significantly enhancing our revenue.
Imagine you have to implement budget cuts in your department. How would you decide where to reduce costs while maintaining performance? This situational question tests your budgeting skills and prioritization in resource management. Here are some strategies to effectively answer this question. Analyze current spending to spot non-essential expenses. Engage your team to gather insights on efficiency improvements. Focus on investments that align with strategic goals. Consider reallocating resources instead of cutting roles or services. Keep a close watch on performance metrics to evaluate the impact of cuts. Let's see a practical example of how you might respond.
To manage budget cuts, I would first review expenses to identify non-critical areas for reduction. Then, I'd seek input from my team on potential efficiencies. Cuts would be made in areas not directly impacting strategic objectives, ensuring we maintain core performance levels.
What approach would you take if your team is falling short of performance targets? This question is about understanding your methods for improving team performance and motivation. Consider these steps as you formulate your answer. Identify the core issues affecting performance through data and feedback. Set clear, achievable performance goals with your team. Provide necessary resources and training to boost skills. Foster an open environment for communication and support. Monitor progress and adapt strategies as needed. Here's an example of how you might handle this situation.
First, I would analyze performance metrics and gather feedback to understand the challenges. Then, I would set realistic goals with the team, ensure they have the necessary training, and foster open communication. By regularly reviewing progress, we could make timely adjustments and improve performance.
Before we wrap up, remember you can get all 30 questions, example answers, and step-by-step tips in a handy PDF. Totally free, just grab it below.